Welcome back to another episode of The Doctor's In. I am your doctor, C.G. Weinberg. And today, I'm talking about a tough one. I want to talk about the Christians' response to the killing of Charlie Kirk. Now, I don't normally do this, but please share this video. Like it, comment it. I would like this to go around. Because I'm not seeing very many people say what I'm about to say, and I think it's important. So, a Christian's response. Now, I do have to start with the fact that I am not a Charlie Kirk expert. I would see clips of his videos on social media. I'd flip through them, watch them occasionally. If you put all the time together that I've seen his videos in my lifetime, all together, put it together, it might be a couple hours. So I've seen very little of what he's done. So I'm not an expert, but everything I did see from him, I agreed with. I didn't always agree with how he did it. I didn't always agree in the way he went about. But generally speaking, his arguments were spot on. He was doing things that I definitely wouldn't want to do. He was doing things that most people, no one really wants to do. Debating people who didn't want to think. That's a little uncharitable, but it's true. So he was debating people that hadn't thought through their arguments, and he was walking them through things. He knew a lot as a self-educated man. I definitely applaud him for that. But yeah, so I mean, he was doing things no one else wanted to do, and he was doing it well. He was saying truth. Again, I don't know everything he said, but what I saw him say, there isn't a single thing that I saw that I disagree with. Now, there's a decent possibility that there's things he said and whatnot and did that I don't know about that I disagree with. But everything that I saw, small snippet, I agree with. So, for what I can say, he was a stand-up guy, but I don't know everything. Which then should bring up a response of, why the devil am I saying anything? Decent question. Weirdly, it kind of coincides with a bunch of things in my life. Currently at school, I'm teaching through Eusebius, early church history. And this week, we were reading about the life of Christ, and then the first generation of people after the life of Christ. What happened after the Bible ended, like directly after the Bible ended? What happened then? You know what happened then? Persecution. Pretty much instantly, people hated Christians. I mean, you have the famous one, Nero would light them on fire to light his, be candles in his nighttime parties. Kind of a bad one. But no one liked them. And what this did was it made people spread. It's like God made it on purpose that something would happen and the gospel would spread. Also, last year, I read Life in the Negative World by Aaron Rend. I thought it was fine. Yeah, the book was fine. Definitely read it if you're not familiar with it. My big problem with the book is the fact that in reality, true Christianity is always in the negative world. If Christians are actually going to confront the sin in their lives and around them, like in their community, they're going to be hated. So, yes, there was a time in America, not so distant ago, that it was vital that you said you were a Christian in order to get into politics, in order to excel at your job, whatever. You had to say you were a Christian, but it was never popular to live like one. It was never popular to call out sin. Now, people like the nice, cozy side of Christianity, where we give them free stuff. They don't like the side where we call them out. That has been true. That's why they were hated in the time of Eusebius. That is why we're hated now. It's because we call out sin. We don't let people get away with it. And that's my problem with Rend's book, is the fact that true Christianity is always hated. It's always in the negative world. Be ready for it. Another interesting thing I'm teaching right now, to my seniors is apologetics, and I'm doing some Greg Bonson videos, but I'm also doing Mitch Stokes' A Shot of Faith to the Head. And really looking at the fact that there is a war going on. It's a cultural war. It's a battle over ideas. It is the fight. And Christians cannot go into the fight with one hand tied behind their back. They have to go in swinging, which is what I appreciate about Charlie. He swung hard, and he actually normally let up. He would pull his punches because he knew he was right. And I applaud him for that, because you don't always have to latch on like a bulldog and drag them down until they suffer and die in front of you. That's not how Christ did it. He would poke them in the eye and say, "Let me help you," which is what Charlie did. He was really good about doing that. He was very skillful at getting to the meat of the argument and saying, "I love you. Stop this. Surrender your life. Obey to Christ. Submit to Christ. Love Christ. Believe." That is something Charlie did well. And I've been seeing this trend a lot recently of things getting more and more against Christians actually living like Christians. And that's why I'm speaking out, is because, today, Charlie, his killer supposedly got found. I would love it to be done. I would love justice to be served. We'll see how it goes. These kind of things are always a little questionable. Are we being lied to as a public? Yada, yada, yada. It goes down the rabbit hole. We'll see. But I hope that we have justice and things are going to be settled there. Or at least our semblance of justice. But if Christians, we are going to have to be more vocal. And why am I speaking out here today? It's because of the response I've seen. On the right, conservative Christian side, I've seen a lot of prayer and outrage. A church down in Seattle, close to me, did a night vigil that night when Charlie died. Fantastic. They packed their house. They worshiped Christ. They prayed for his family. That is a great response. There's also been a lot of outrage. People saying, "How dare this happen?" You know what? As a Christian, you have to be ready for this to happen. This is what we are called to. This is our cross. If you're going to be a Christian, be ready for this. And most of the people who are outraged are actually not Christians, and so I don't blame them for that. But Christian, this is what we get. If we are going to live like Christ, this is what we get. And the third thing I've been seeing from the right Christian conservative is a call for justice. A lot of people saying, kill the shooter, blah, blah, blah. Guys, we have not had justice in America in a very long time. At best, we have a weird penalty system that you can get out of with money or the right type of plea. We don't have justice here. The only justice we're going to get is at the end. So if he goes to Media's okay, fine. But that is the only time he's going to have justice. Charlie will have justice. With our current justice system, I don't foresee this going well. Don't radicalize it. He will probably plead insanity and get put into a padded room until he self-medicates and dies. Because that tends to be how these types of things go, is he disappears. But honestly, he disappears because he's not that important. He made a bad decision. He got in the wrong ideologies. He went down he just went down all types of bad things. He did a terrible thing. He ended the life of a father and a husband. And he has to live with that for the rest of his days, and we'll see how many days those are. But that is not something I'm losing sleep over, because it is in God's hands. God is in control of that. Our system is bankrupt. That is a whole nother problem that we have in America. Don't be outraged by that. On the left, though, it's been very interesting. I've seen a lot of left, and I am thankful for this. There are a lot of people making this next statement are being held accountable for it, and that is the fact that this is what he taught. he deserves it. This is what you get for supporting gun violence, supporting gun rights, the Second Amendment. This is what you get. Blah, blah, blah. The other one is the fact that he had no empathy, so I give him no empathy. And finally, the most sane response is, see, guns are bad. Gun violence is bad. We should do something about this. Let's push that agenda forward. Those are the three main things I've been seeing from the liberal left. And I am thankful that a lot of the people who are saying that this is what he deserves are actually being held accountable. That's great. Here's the interesting part, though, is the people who are saying this is what he taught, I would actually say this is what he preached. And I'll clarify why I didn't say, I'm not saying teach, I'm saying this is what he preached. Because this is actually exactly his point. What happened to him is actually everything he was fighting against. This person committed a crime for free speech, for matter of opinion, and the arrangement that follows. This is exactly what he's talking about. The left agenda, those who actually follow the left agenda, most people who vote left actually aren't doing their agenda. They vote for it because they have to protect the minority. But the people that are actually doing the left agenda are all deranged, mentally ill, or demon-possessed. If you live out the left agenda, you are not going to have a good life. And the left agenda in particular is going to be the LGBTQ agenda that Charlie fought against a lot. If you live that agenda out, you are actually going to be mentally unstable, you're going to be deranged, and you're opening yourself up to demon possession. And this is exactly what Charlie preached against. So yes, he did preach against this because he knew the consequences of these ideologies. If you believe these things, you actually do cripple and harm yourself. So this thing is not gun violence, it's people violence. Someone who doesn't understand who they are as a person. That's the problem here. So the whole LGBTQ agenda actually makes people less than man because it doesn't recognize who they are as created beings. When you take up that ideology, you actually become less than what you are, which is what Charlie taught about. Humans are created male and female, and they're created to love female and male because they are created in the image of God. And if you deny these things, these basic, fundamental human truths, you actually take away all of your sense of identity so that you are then wandering aimlessly in the abyss of the universe with nothing to hold you still except your own ideas. And if your ideas become your identity, then if someone talks bad about your ideas, they're attacking your identity. And that then becomes the self-hate part. However, a human is not their ideas. A human is male or female, created in the image of God. That is who they are. You can't lose that. And if you rail against it, you lose sanity. But you can't lose that part of you. It is what you are. And if you then put the whole bundle together in the fact that you are also under Christ and your identity is in Christ as a Christian, then the whole shebang fits together and you actually can live a fulfilling life. But if you take off the fact that Jesus is Lord, that you are created in the image of God, and he did not make a mistake in creating you, and that you are made with a purpose, well, guess what? That actually allows you to go and live life fulfilled. If you take off any part of that, you unseed yourself, unroot yourself from the essence of reality, and then you are put out into an abyss that you don't know how to handle because man wasn't created to handle that, which is why they grow violent, which is the whole point of what Charlie was talking about, is the fact that if you release people from reality, they are mentally unstable. They are deranged. They can't actually understand reality correctly. And if you give them weapons, because they are their ideas, they then attack the idea that is attacking them, which they saw as Charlie in this case. And that is what is happening in America today. If you let people take this off in the left, there's a real problem. The Christian conservative right is working on doing that. Even the conservative right does understand that man is man. If you go way out on the fringe of the right, you have worse things than that. And like, there's a lot of whack jobs on the far right. Like, I'm not condoning all things on right, but the left ideology, if you support what they preach, if you do what they preach, you are being set up to fail in life. And that is what Charlie preached. So, why am I saying all this? Because a Christian actually has to do something. My wife showed me a little post that went up the night that he was killed, that it said, "Good job, you just made 1 million Charlie Kirks." And I really hope that number is too small. This is my encouragement to you, is to go be another Charlie Kirk. And that starts with the fact that you must actually hold the line. If you are a Christian, you actually must hold the line that Jesus put there, that the Bible puts there, of what actually is reality, and reject everything that goes against that. You actually have to hold the line. That's the bare minimum. You can't let the line keep being encroached upon, being pushed back. We actually have to hold the line. Don't capitulate anymore. Once you're holding the line, we then actually have to build a Christian community, a Christian culture. We must start building things. We need to build businesses that actually work, that actually have funding. We have to stop our government from overspending terribly, because guess what? You can't just keep printing money. That's not how reality works. We need to go back and be grounded in reality. Paper money soon will only be paper if you keep printing it. We have to get our government back in line. We have to get our schools back in line. We must abandon, at this point, I'll at least only speak for my state. Washington State Public Schools are completely bankrupt and need to be abandoned. Christians, get your kids out of Washington Public Schools. I can probably also speak for Oregon and California, because they seem to be all in a row, in alignment with ideology. Abandon those schools. Let them not be able to fund themselves. Let them burn and start something new. Educate your children. Save them. Private school that actually has good ideas, that actually teaches Christianity. Homeschooling, fantastic. Class competitions, fantastic. There's lots of options out there besides public schools that will require sacrifice, but we're dealing with our kids' souls here. It's a sacrifice worth having. It's a sacrifice worth making. So build things to actually have a Christian community, a Christian culture, and make it attractive. Finally, learn how to have masculine nerve, and learn how to laugh and feast. I guess not finally, two more things. Men, stand up. Be the voice, be the wall, be the shelter for those who are around you. Have nerve, know what Christ said, and stand upon it, and don't let someone shake you. And finally, learn how to laugh and feast. Learn how to have a joy in hard times, because we know who is in charge of it all. This is the point of being a Christian, is the fact that we don't have to be afraid, because God is sovereign, Jesus is Lord, He's in charge of everything, He's caring for it all, and all we get to do is say thank you for all the great things that He's given us. Because, especially in America, we are so blessed. We are so blessed. Be thankful, worship God, work hard, have a family, raise kids, tell them the same thing, and learn to laugh at the hard things in life, because most of the time they're hilarious. And if nothing else, they're going to be a great story. So that is what we must do. We must hold the line and build. We can't be falling short. We must be bold. We must be able to stand up and speak the truth. That is what Charlie did. We need more of it in this country. We need more of it in our cities. We need more of it in the world. Go forth, build, and share it. Why we build. We build it because Jesus is Lord. We build it because we are faithful to his word. We build it because we are Christians. We build it because we love God. All the way down the road, we must build. So don't let Charlie be wasted. Go forth, be like him, but build. Hold the line and build. And with that, the doctor's out.